Niacin's affordability is both its greatest strength and, paradoxically, one of the main reasons it remains underutilized in modern medicine and underrepresented in scientific discourse. As a naturally occurring compound, niacin cannot be patented in its basic form. This simple economic fact dramatically reduces the financial incentive for pharmaceutical companies to fund large-scale clinical trials or invest in marketing campaigns that promote it, despite its wide-ranging, evidence-backed therapeutic effects. In the pharmaceutical model, profitability often dictates research priorities. Drugs that can be patented, especially novel chemical entities or biologics, offer exclusivity and a return on investment that justifies the substantial cost of clinical development and regulatory approval. Niacin, on the other hand, exists in the public domain. It can be synthesized cheaply, sold generically, and even found in common foods. This makes it commercially unattractive to large stakeholders who instead focus on developing proprietary molecules, many of which are functionally similar but exponentially more expensive. This economic bias has distorted the landscape of medical research and public health messaging. For example, although niacin has been clinically proven to lower LDL cholesterol, raise HDL cholesterol, reduce triglycerides, and support cardiovascular health, it has been largely replaced in cardiology by statins. Statins are patentable, highly profitable, and aggressively marketed, while niacin, despite offering comparable benefits in certain contexts, is sidelined. In fact, after decades of use, niacin's role in lipid management was diminished largely not due to inefficacy, but due to a lack of corporate interest in pushing its continued exploration or refining its therapeutic use. The same pattern can be seen in the burgeoning anti-aging and metabolic health industries. The biological importance of NAD+, which is synthesized from niacin, has sparked intense research into molecules that elevate NAD+ levels to combat age-related decline. However, instead of focusing on plain niacin or niacinamide, both affordable and effective, research and commercial interest have pivoted toward costly, patentable precursors like nicotinamide riboside, NR, and nicotinamide mononucleotide, NMN. These molecules often cost exponentially more, are subject to premium branding, and have been integrated into the longevity market despite the fact that traditional niacin performs many of the same functions. Moreover, research dollars tend to follow potential revenue. When studies are funded by pharmaceutical companies, they often target interventions that can yield intellectual property, recurring prescriptions, and high-margin products. This creates a feedback loop in which inexpensive, unpatentable molecules like niacin are overlooked not because they lack efficacy, but because they lack profitability. This extends beyond product development into education and training, influencing what medical professionals are taught and what therapies are considered standard of care. In psychiatry, for example, niacin was once explored for its role in mood disorders and schizophrenia. Dr. Abram Hoffer's orthomolecular psychiatry model included high-dose niacin as a treatment for certain mental health conditions, based on its effects on neurotransmitter balance and methylation. However, the rise of patented antidepressants and antipsychotics, backed by billions in marketing and clinical trials, quickly displaced nutritional models, despite mounting evidence that micronutrient deficiencies contribute to mental illness. Again, the pharmaceutical incentive dictated the clinical narrative. Even in dermatology, where niacinamide has shown clear benefits for reducing skin cancer risk and improving barrier function, public health campaigns emphasize sunscreen and antioxidants like vitamin C, which are more commercially viable in topical or cosmetic formulations. Oral niacin's protective role, though proven, is rarely discussed, despite its low cost and ease of administration. The result of all this is a stark disconnect between niacin's biological utility and its public profile. It is one of the few nutrients that plays a role in over 400 enzymatic reactions, supports mitochondrial function, regulates inflammation, enhances DNA repair, improves lipid metabolism, and influences neurotransmitter balance, yet it is rarely front and center in health discussions. The issue isn't scientific irrelevance, it's economic invisibility. In the broader context of public health, this presents a dilemma. The tools that are most accessible and affordable, like niacin, often go unused in favor of more lucrative, high-tech solutions. This not only inflates healthcare costs, but leaves many people with suboptimal health outcomes, particularly in conditions that could benefit from NAD+ restoration or mitochondrial support. In conclusion, niacin's negligible cost should be a public health asset, but instead, it renders the vitamin commercially invisible. The pharmaceutical model, which prioritizes profit over accessibility, has effectively sidelined one of the most metabolically essential nutrients in human physiology. Until funding, research, and education are realigned to value therapeutic efficacy over economic potential, niacin will continue to sit in the shadow of less effective, but more profitable, alternatives.